Rausch Games!
Hello from the Tampa Bay Times Forum in Tampa Bay, Florida, home of the Lightning of the NHL. We've got 19,000 fans here for our first live pay-per-view of the 2K14 Universe Mode. It is the third Sunday in April. We have our NXT Extreme Rules pay-per-view, 7 high-octane matches coming your way. We're leading off with 2 debuting superstars here in our Universe Mode. We've got Bray Wyatt taking on David Otunga with a huge back body drop there to Mr. Wyatt. It's going to be a one-fall match. We do, as I mentioned, have a 7-match card tonight, including but not limited to tag team action featuring the Rausch and Santino Marella taking on El Guapo Diablo and Heath Slater, formerly the leader of the 3-man band, now looking more like just a regular commonplace member. We'll also have 2 title matches tonight. We're going to have the NXT Women's Championship that will be contested between Aksana and her #1 contender, Adeceve, in a single fall match. And then the match that's been on everyone's mind since General Manager Stephanie McMahon couldn't take it upon herself to release a card to this show sometime before the show actually aired. It took us forever to see who Big John Studd would be fighting for his NXT Championship, and it turns out that it is The Miz. So if you were predicting The Miz out of The Miz, Mark Henry, and Sin Cara, you win. They're going to have an Extreme Rules match for the NXT Championship. That is our main event tonight. We've got 6 other big ones to get through before then, and it's kind of funny to see how we got to that point. But that's enough about matches we're not fighting right now. We've got David Otunga and Bray Wyatt in the ring together. Both of these guys not seen yet on NXT programming. David Otunga, a WWE vet. Bray Wyatt, new to the company at this point. We have seen Bray Wyatt's Wyatt family entourage, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, a few weeks back when they systematically destroyed El Guapo Diablo in his debut match in what was technically a triple threat. And we almost had someone going through the table there, despite that this is not an Extreme Rules match. The ref is counting. Weapon shots are illegal here, despite the name of the pay-per-view. And there's the body slam through the announcer's table. David Otunga has been dismembered by Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt is just casually back up in the ring. And he's got him around. Nice, slow tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Really had the momentum reverse there. We've got a series of punches, and it goes Bray Wyatt's favor into a side headlock. And he's got him for another toss suplex there. And Bray Wyatt is definitely in control of this match. Looked like Otunga had a chance early on, but Otunga gets up while Wyatt's celebrating. Wyatt immediately back on the offensive, though. There's another big-time body slam, the extra twist up above, just granting a little bit more leverage for the put-down. But for the second time this match, David Otunga poking the eyes of Bray Wyatt as he lumbers over him, using that to his advantage. And Otunga with a club from behind, looking to regain control here. There's a punch into a side headlock. And now Otunga with a gorilla press of Bray Wyatt into a rib breaker over the knee. Unbelievable strength from the Harvard graduate. the WWE's resident attorney. And we're back outside despite the lack of Extreme Rules here. And there is Otunga taking control again with an elbow drop to Bray Wyatt. 7 matches tonight, our first pay-per-view of this Universe Mode. I hope you're in this one for the long haul. And there's Wyatt, elbow to the top of the face of David Otunga, right across the nose there. And now Bray Wyatt has him from underneath, and there is your modified rock bottom. And Bray Wyatt signaling for David Otunga to get up. He's got him, and there it is, the Sister Abigail. We know that maneuver pretty well at this point. In the real world, not in this Universe Mode. Oh, and he was going to drag him away, but the cutscene ended the maneuver there. This might break up the pinfall, actually. Gets him away from the ropes, covers him. 1, 2, just a 2 count, that's correct. That little bit of a delay gave David Otunga the window he needed to stay in this match. Bray Wyatt almost walking out with a victory there. And there's a rib breaker over the knee. And a big-time belly-to-belly suplex from David Otunga from out of nowhere. And he's dragging Bray Wyatt now toward the center of the ring. This match may have turned around here, ladies and gentlemen. 1. Just a 1 count, though, and Bray Wyatt does indeed kick out. Oh, but now David Otunga with his big-time modified STO. Lifting him up, throwing him down. Judo and strength all together there. 1, 2, Oh, 2 count. Bray Wyatt does indeed kick out there. But now Otunga still on the offensive. Twists the arm of Bray Wyatt around. Into a snapmare he goes. And he's got him in a surfboard stretch here. Wyatt's got to fight his way out. And after getting hit with the finisher there, you think he's not going to. But he does indeed break out of the hold. Little headbutt to the back of David Otunga. Now working from behind is Wyatt. Head under the arm. Big time back suplex there. Wyatt on the offensive again. David Otunga dropped on the back of his head. And Wyatt again working from behind. And one more back suplex for good measure. Dropping him right on the back of his head. Rolls him over now. Lifts him up. And he's got a little submission of his own. And a chop across the face with the neck locked between his legs like a scissor hold. Now he's just stomping on the chest of David Otunga. Running at him. STO. But now Otunga pushes out of the grapple, and now Otunga working from behind. Wyatt ducks under the clothesline, runs at him, another STO. And now Wyatt rolls David Otunga over, but Otunga again pushes out. And a punch, and 3 punches from Otunga. But now Wyatt reverses an Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Otunga kicks out, they're reversing everything right now. And another running STO from Bray Wyatt. And now Wyatt off the ropes, Otunga down. Wyatt, big time body splash in the corner. Oh, and there is Bray Wyatt again underneath with that rock bottom-esque takedown. And one more time, he is totally ready for David Otunga to get up to his feet. He's signaling from behind. And we've got the kiss on the forehead and another Sister Abigail from Bray Wyatt. We'll have a replay of that high-impact maneuver. We have never actually seen anyone kick out of the Sister Abigail before tonight with David Otunga that first time. Gotta blame it on the ropes. 1, 2, 3. That's your match right there. Bray Wyatt wins the opener here in front of 19,000 fans in Tampa Bay, Florida. David Otunga loses to the Sister Abigail. There's the huge body slam through the table. Well, it's a 7-match Extreme Rules pay-per-view. You better believe we're getting the duct tape out for that particular table. I have the strange feeling that thing is going to fall apart again before the end of 2 nights. But that was our match. Each man hitting his finisher at one point. That great chain wrestling reversal fest toward the finish there. Punches blocked, Irish whips reversed, clotheslines ducked, but all it comes down to is one Sister Abigail from Bray Wyatt, and everything ends. David Otunga should have obeyed the shirt that Wyatt wore to the ring tonight and just run before he got a chance to get out here. Successful debut for both of them, a bit more successful for Bray Wyatt though. He's going to celebrate in the ring. We're going to come right back for our second match tonight. It's pay-per-view time, guys. Who else is excited? And here we are, our second match from the arena in Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Times Forum. 19,000 NXT fans here, huge crowd for NXT's first pay-per-view in this universe mode. Second match, one-on-one, regular rules apply, non-extreme rules between Summer Rae and Layla. And you can consider this kind of a grudge match, as this week on NXT, back on Tuesday night, they both had a triple threat match against each other and Adeceve, who is now inexplicably the #1 contender and taking on Aksana for the title immediately after this. You can think that they're each mad at each other for not doing more to become the #1 contender, even though Summer Rae did actually win that match in her NXT debut. It's strange that if anyone was going to end up the #1 contender after that, it was not Summer Rae. But regardless, Adeceve was named the #1 contender by General Manager Stephanie McMahon, who, you know, may or may not have had some issues booking things so far this year. And these two women were allowed to have a grudge match right before the title match here as our second match on the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Summer Rae, Layla. The triple threat match they had earlier this week on NXT was actually a lot of fun to watch, and all 3 women really gave it their all. But these two essentially took turns just destroying the rookie, Adeceve, just back and forth to make sure that she couldn't win. But while they were doing that, they each let the other gain an advantage, and as it turned out, Summer Rae did end up winning. And Layla, considering that she is the most seasoned out of those 3 competitors, is especially sour about not winning. And in this match here, the winner of that triple threat match, Summer Rae, is just going off on Layla, dodging and everything, working from behind here. Headlock takedown from Summer Rae. Nice extension there. Summer Rae, very tall, very limber, very nimble, still working on her in-ring skills, but her match earlier this week, if anything, just demonstrates that she's ready. She is ready to be a competitor here in the WWE Universe. But as we say that, there's Layla with a single-arm DDT, taking down Summer Rae. Now Layla working from a side headlock, the ref blocking our view. There's a twist around and a club across the neck. The ref just seems to be frozen in place right in front of the hot camera here. Someone's got to tell him to move or he's never going to get in the call up to the main WWE roster. And there's a big-time facebuster from Layla to Summer Rae, immediately into an elbow drop to the small of the back. And now Layla taking control of this match, working from behind, twisting Summer Rae around, pushing her off. Huge slap to the face, so hard that Summer Rae falls off her feet and to the mat. And now a bunch of stomps from Layla there. Summer Rae up, though. She's got a clear foot over Layla, and throwing Layla outside of the ring is Summer Rae. To the floor of the arena she goes. Now Layla is up. Summer Rae, the leg over the takedown. Amazing maneuver from Summer Rae there. And she's fired up. She's trying to get the fans behind her. I don't think they really like her too much yet. And there's a big spinning heel kick from Summer Rae. And Layla is down on the floor of the arena. Summer Rae try to whip her back in, but Layla reverses. And now Layla, about to get counted out by the ref herself, runs into the ring. And we go on. That was Summer Rae's finishing maneuver, that spinning heel kick. But Layla got up. She no-sold it like a female championette. And now wait, Summer Rae going up top with Layla down. Huge elbow drop, misses completely, and that is a lot of woman coming down to the ring there. Layla from behind, huge drop kick to the upper vertebra of Summer Rae there, hitting her right at the base of the neck. And now a side kick to the leg. Summer Rae goes for a punch. They're blocking each other. Oh, and Summer Rae can't block the discus punch there. There's a kick to the hamstring. Layla back in control. But Summer Rae now with a poke to the eye of Layla as Layla tries to get her, picking up a little trick from David Otunga there. Layla, though, reversing into a nice arm drag there from behind. Barely even saw Summer Rae coming. Good awareness. Summer Rae, though, big-time body slam to Layla. And with her down, kicks her to the top of the head. Just toying with her now. Little Chris Jericho there. Now there is Summer Rae with a stomp. Layla up into a huge Hurricane Rana. Summer Rae flying like a torpedo sent across the ring. Now Layla dragging her toward the center of the ring, away from the ropes. Pinfall 1. Just barely over that 1 count, though, and Summer Rae gets up. And there's a stalling neck breaker. We've seen that from her a few times tonight so far. And a Summer Rae with her own stomps to the head. But now Layla lifts her up off her feet. And now they're back in the center of the ring. Layla into a leverage pin here. 1, 2. Oh, 2 count, and Summer Rae does manage to get out of the cradle there. And Layla with a jump-up Frankensteiner into another leverage pin. Just a 1 count, though. Layla with the speed moves is taking control here. Summer Rae has to use a body slam here to slow the match down. And now a stomp to the chest. And she's got her again with that step over leg drop. Does Summer Rae. And again she's signaling for Layla to get up. Layla struggling to her feet. You got to think she probably should have stayed down there. But Summer Rae now spins Layla around. And there it is, one more spinning heel kick after dodging the punch. Amazing athleticism from Summer Rae on that reach. 1, 2, 3. Summer Rae defeats Layla. Summer Rae 2-0 this week. And she's kind of just proven her case that she should have been the #1 contender and should very well have been involved in this championship match we're about to head into. But for right now, she's just victorious in a one-on-one match against Layla. Great match between these two. Took it to the outside. Summer Rae hit the kick out there. Layla came back in a huge way and tried everything she could with all of her leverage pins. Good athletic sequence there, but Summer Rae came out of it a little bit too tall to be held in a cradle for that long. And then she comes back. There's that step over leg drop, and you're going to get one more spinning heel kick before the pinfall that ends this match. Here it is. Layla for the punch. Duck, kick, boom, down. And that's going to be your match right there, folks. We had the 1, 2, 3 right after that. We've still got a full card of 5 matches left. And coming up, we're going to head right into our first of 2 title matches tonight. We have Adeceve challenging Aksana for the NXT Women's Championship. That is coming up next. For right now, Summer Rae victorious over Layla. Stay tuned. And here is the championship presentation. That giant belt looked like a corset on Aksana during her entrance. It was hilarious, and I wish you could have seen it. Stupid content ID. And we are underway our 3rd match of the evening here in Tampa Bay. This is a championship match. Aksana, the NXT Women's Champion, taking on Adeceve, the challenger and surprise #1 contender, named today by General Manager Stephanie McMahon. This is going to be a good match, but some think that Adeceve did not necessarily earn this title shot, that she did not deserve it. She lost a triple threat match to Summer Rae, to Layla, who just had a fight right before this as kind of a grudge match after that. But either way, it doesn't matter who's in this match. It's up to Aksana to defend her championship. And so far with a facebuster there, she looks like she's on the way to doing that. on the offensive very early. Adeceve tried to get her in the corner. Oh, and there's a reverse drop kick into a drop kick. That was a nice maneuver there from Aksana getting out of the way of Adeceve, but Adeceve comes back with a big-time punch to the top of the head, and there's a big back suplex getting Aksana all caught up in the ropes. Lots of potential for injury there, and now Adeceve leveraging Aksana's arm through the ropes there, working on that. She's going to hinder her ability to hold any kind of submission later on. And a big-time knee to the back of Aksana, and Adeceve backing off now. Aksana struggling to her feet. They're going to lock up in the center, and Adeceve into a side headlock. Aksana reversing, though. Drop toe hold. Face first into the mat. Aksana now picking Adeceve up. Side headlock there. Pushes her away. Big-time slap across the face. Adeceve falling over, but she's back up. Quickly kicking Aksana in the face, and a huge running Hurricane Rana sends Aksana all the way across the ring. Adeceve follows now, grabbing the leg from behind, slamming the knee down into the mat. Big time old school maneuver there. Rolling Aksana over now. Adeceve from behind. She's got her in a camel clutch, and Aksana is trying to get to the northern end of the ring here, but Adeceve loses her grip before the hold can really become devastating. We are in a front headlock now from Adeceve. And there's a nice body slam from her. She's in control now. She's got all the offense, all the momentum. Picks Aksana up, and another big knee to the back. She's working on the body of Aksana here, and now definitely trying to get the crowd behind her. But Aksana uses that to hit her with a running DDT. Way to break up the chain there, Aksana. That's why she's the champ to start everything here in NXT. This is the first time that we have seen our women's champion, Aksana, since we started this universe mode. Big kick to the head from Adeceve. She has laid low. She has not been put in any matches yet. But here, at this pay-per-view... Oh, and we miss a little bit of a drop kick there from Adeceve. Here at this pay-per-view, Aksana is indeed making her debut to defend her title. As I mentioned, she looked hilarious wearing it out to the ring. The thing was just about as big as her entire midsection, this bright pink NXT Women's Championship that we have. And unfortunately, because of YouTube's wonderful new content ID system, I dare not show you any entrances, and I am borderline on the verge of taking out all game music. We'll see what happens going into the future, though. For now, we'll just keep it without the entrances. It was funny. It looked like an exterior bright pink corset that she was wearing. And that was the first time you actually got to see our NXT Women's Championship, which is a created championship made by yours truly. Took me no effort whatsoever, because I just colored the NXT Championship pink and made the lettering black. And it's wonderful. But either way, back to this match. Aksana now really in control of things. Adeceve, big time Frankensteiner, and now she's going up top. The fans are very happy. And there's a big backflip off, and she does indeed hit Aksana. And now Adeceve signaling for Aksana to get the heck up. And Aksana is stumbling around. Oh, but Adeceve decides to go for who knows what. She's going back up top now. And there's another big-time backflip. Senton misses it. And Adeceve had a huge window there. And now Aksana with the big step-up enziguri. And she's dragging Adeceve toward the middle of the ring here. We're going to have a pin. One. Just a one count, though, and Adeceve does indeed kick out. And Aksana with the schoolboy roll-up. Just a one count there as well, though. I guess we should call that the schoolgirl roll-up, huh? Depending on the match. And a big-time back suplex from Adeceve. She's going to go up one more time. She has definitely kind of defined herself as a high flyer here. And off the top, and she completely misses her finishing flip right there. This announcer does indeed forget what she calls that finishing flip, which is a shame, because Adeceve is the announcer's girlfriend's created superstar. And again, she misses, and I'm just going to keep calling it until she hits it. But there's Aksana with a big-time spinebuster takedown. That's her finishing maneuver. Not doing so hot on the wrestling dictionary today, guys. Oh, and a one-count kick-out from Adeceve. She is a pretty resilient wrestler, despite the fact that she misses her aerial maneuver every now and then. But a big Russian leg sweep from Aksana, and now a kick to the hamstring. Now she's going to work on the legs of Adeceve. And now she picks Adeceve up. Gets her in for a suplex clutch, and a snap suplex it is indeed. Aksana now in control here. Adeceve struggling to her feet. And there's going to be another spinebuster from Aksana. And Adeceve looks like she is dead in the water. Oh, and that is indeed a 3 count. Looked like she was trying to kick out, but Aksana does retain the NXT Women's Championship. 3 count pinfall victory over the challenger Adeceve. Adeceve simply could not hit her maneuver from the top rope. That's why she's here in NXT. She's going to have to work with a little bit more seasoning, try to get the landing on that a little bit better next time. But Aksana capitalizes, hits 2 spine busters, some very nice offensive maneuvers from the champion, and now it doesn't seem like she's as much, of a pushover as under the radar. She doesn't look like she's hiding anymore. She has come out, she has defended her championship, and she'll probably do it again at the drop of a hat. And if I'm Summer Rae or Layla, I'm looking forward to next month, but at the same time, I'm making sure I bring my A game throughout the month heading up to that, because as Stephanie McMahon proved to us, there is no guarantee that any one person will be given a title shot based on #1 contendership. And here is the champion celebrating with her oversized belt after the match. That thing is beautiful. We will see you for our 3rd match, guys. We got a tag team coming up next. And here is a little bit of a wrinkle. We've had a change in the card. All of a sudden, we have an Internet Championship match between Zack Ryder and Brodus Clay. This is huge. We'll talk more about it once we get into things. And our 4th match is a title match, as I just mentioned, immediately after the women's title match that Aksana won moments ago during our little bit of a WWE app instructional break. General Manager Stephanie McMahon came down to my announcer's table and let me know that she was listening to my live commentary and decided to change the card based on the fact that I said she doesn't know how to book things. Frankly, I'm surprised I still have a job, but essentially what happened is this was supposed to be a just regular tag team match, continuing this sort of friendly rivalry between the Rausch and El Guapo Diablo. The Rausch was teamed up with Santino Marella. El Guapo Diablo had Heath Slater in his corner. Stephanie McMahon came out, nixed that match, declared that we had a match for the Internet Championship of Zack Ryder, and that Brodus Clay would be taking him on for it. Brodus Clay, one half of the tag team champions. That makes this a champion versus champion match, and makes it so that Brodus Clay could very well be our first double champion. Not only that, though, the Internet Champion, despite the fact that it is technically the minor championship of NXT down here, is quite frankly the most important on a day-to-day basis. Come SummerSlam, the Internet Champion has a match at the main WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view. And if he wins that match against a random WWE superstar, he becomes part of that superstar's roster. This is huge. Right now, if SummerSlam happened tomorrow, Zack Ryder would be on his way to that match against anyone, just randomly picked. Algorithms we can't control. But if Brodus Clay wins here, all of a sudden that shot is his. And that would mean that come SummerSlam, the NXT Tag Team Championships would be vacated. But either way, this is a much more exciting card now. We also had a change later on. Right before our main event, we had a one-fall match between Justin Gabriel and Fandango scheduled. It appears as though that has also been changed, and in place of Gabriel taking on Fandango, we will now see the other half of the NXT Tag Team Champions. That's going to be Sweet Tea, Lord Tensai. And there's a huge corner DDT from Zack Ryder, Hurricane DDT there. And Zack Ryder now with a big-time strong back suplex to Brodus Clay. And he's got him up for an insane flapjack there. Zack Ryder taking complete control now. He's not going to lose his belt. He wants that shot at SummerSlam. He was happy to not have to defend it tonight, and he's pretty pissed off that he came out here at the last minute because Stephanie McMahon decided that she was suddenly self-conscious about her booking. This is a regular rules match. This is not Extreme Rules. And Ryder trying to kick off the apron. Brodus Clay just comes up and sweeps him and then picks him up by the head. And now Clay going for a body slam, but Ryder gets out, picking Clay up and gets him into a rib breaker over the side of his knee. And there's our table, which was put together with duct tape earlier. It's being torn apart by Ryder, but Ryder gets thrown back into the ring by Brodus Clay before anything can happen there. And Ryder is now up, Clay back in the ring, Ryder running toward him, huge running forearm, Clay down to the mat, Ryder working from behind. And there's going to be a big-time bridging back suplex, unbelievable strength from the superstar from Long Island. And now Ryder spins Brodus Clay around, has him, and that's going to be a reverse suplex into a backbreaker. And Brodus Clay is down. And now Ryder whips him across into the corner. And there's a forearm across the neck. And now taking him by the head, punching him into the side of the head, the temple. Ryder trying to take complete control of this match now. Gets him up. Another big-time flapjack. Clay tried to run at him, and Clay is busted open. Ryder has decimated him. And now Ryder working from behind, but Clay reverses into a snapmare there. The Funkasaurus. Big-time jumping elbow drop. Driving all of his weight into the chest of Zack Ryder. A few more of those, and Ryder's not going to have a chance here. But Brodus Clay is bleeding. Let's remember that. Brodus and his partner, Sweet Tea, have looked damn near unbeatable so far in this universe mode here in NXT this year. They've been great. They've taken on 3MB. They've taken on the likes of Sin Cara, and they have just been unstoppable in those matches. If Clay were to lose here, it would honestly be a surprise, despite the fact that he is not the champion. Gets a 2 count on Zack Ryder there, but Ryder does indeed get out. And now Clay working from a side headlock, and there's a big-time body slam. You get that extra bit of leverage over the head there. Clay now rolling Ryder over, but Ryder up, and Clay into a big-time sit-out spine buster. Catches him, catches his momentum, picks him up by the neck there. And there's a big elbow to the face of Brodus Clay, and now Zack Ryder gets him up for a suplex, but Clay around into a neck breaker. Unbelievable reversal, great agility from the big man. Ryder being lifted up again. And now Ryder gets a punch, and he's going to get thrown over into the turnbuckle. The ref has to get out of the way. And there's Clay with a big-time butt splash into the corner. And now he's going to throw Zack Ryder to the outside. Out over the ropes violently goes Zack Ryder. Brodus Clay stalking, now rolls out of the ring after him. And now Brodus working from a side headlock. And he's got Ryder. He's dragging him along. Blood dripping down the forehead of Brodus Clay. And now, wait, Zack Ryder has Clay by the arm. And he whips him into the corner of the barricade. And he lays him up against the barricade and walks away with a bad look on his face. He spears him through the barricade into the crowd. Zack Ryder, Brodus Clay out into the crowd. The barricade is a broken mess right now. Fans jumping out of the way. One big fat guy just dropped his soda right there. And Zack Ryder and Brodus Clay both out through the barricade into the crowd. The ref is counting here at Extreme Rules, our 4th match. Ryder is back up in the ring, gets a little woo-woo-woo going on, but there's Brodus back on his feet, and now Ryder working from behind on the much bigger Brodus Clay. And there's a big-time twisting back suplex. And now Ryder going for the pin. 1. Just a 1 count, though, and Brodus is down. And a big-time flapjack again from Zack Ryder. Woo-woo-woo! Signaling to the crowd yet again. Oh, and a big-time headbutt from Brodus Clay. And we're going to have a pin from Brodus now. 1, just a 1 count. Zack Ryder does get out. And Brodus is sent over the ropes. Ryder, huge drop kick to the chest, sending Clay to the floor. And now, wait, Ryder going up top, the crowd going insane. Huge elbow drop, and Zack Ryder completely misses it. Brodus Clay now up on his feet. He picks Ryder up by the neck. And Clay going, there it is. Big time power slam through the announcer's table. Both of them go through the corner of the announcer's table. It's the second time tonight we've seen that table go down. And now Clay, he's going to throw Ryder back into the ring. That's his finisher through the announcer's table. Zack Ryder may very well have just died here. And now Clay is back up in the ring. Wait, no, it wasn't his finisher apparently. Oopsie. And there's Brodus Clay now twisting the arm around of Zack Ryder. Now he's going to drag him toward the center of the ring. Brodus is still bleeding pretty heavily from his forehead here. And wait, Clay is off the ropes. And there's the big body splash. 1. I can't see the ref counting. We can only presume, though. That's it. That's your match. Brodus Clay has been crowned your internet champion. Zack Ryder loses his signature title in a match he wasn't even supposed to fight 10 minutes ago. Unbelievable match here. Brodus Clay, big comeback after being speared through the barricade, but you know it's going to take a lot to bring down the Funkasaurus here. Zack Ryder really never stood a chance with that size disadvantage being placed over him. UPS is again trying to deliver a package to the arena right now. I'm going to answer it once the match goes off the air here. There is a big-time power slam. That's really what did it there. We have that followed by this body splash, and just that 1-2 combo of devastating moves from the big man puts Zack Ryder away for good. Your new internet champion is the Funkasaurus. It is Brodus Clay. He's got the belt. I don't know how we're going to fit that tiny thing around his waist, but we're going to find a way to extend it. Anybody have any extra cable or something in the audience? We're coming back. 3 more matches to go, guys. We will see you in just a few moments. And here we are, guys, our 5th match of the evening. We've got 2/3 of the 3MB taking on Great Khali. We're going to have to start calling this kind of thing the Stephanie McMahon special. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal versus the Great Khali in a triple threat match. The last time we saw something like this, big double DDT. Drew McIntyre takes down both Jinder and the Great Khali. The last time we saw a match like this was very early on this month, where El Guapo Diablo made his debut against Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, who effectively functioned as a team. But in this match, teamwork is probably not going to happen from 3MB because, as you know, they've got a little bit of an internal power struggle right now. We thought it was just between Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre, but it appears that Drew, right out of the chute, is going after his partner, Jinder Mahal. And Drew, after beating Heath Slater in what was billed to be a friendly match, beating him pretty soundly, he seems to be on a tear, and he wants to prove to the world that he is the leader of the three-man band. It's funny because Heath Slater was supposed to have a match tonight in a tag team. He and El Guapo Diablo, who we just spoke of, were supposed to take on Santino, Marella, and the Rausch. Slater could have had a chance to prove that he wasn't, losing his status as alpha male, but instead, we have this match with Drew and Jinder going at each other, and Khali just an innocent bystander, essentially. Khali would normally have the odds stacked against him, but it appears as though this tag team may be breaking up before our eyes. We're going to have to see exactly what happens with it. It could just be that they fight each other, determine who the leader is, and come back strong. But the Great Khali has not been having the best of months of April himself. The last time we saw him on NXT television, he lost a match in front of thousands of people in a live arena, and he unfortunately also lost his girlfriend, as Natalya, who is currently on the Raw roster, came all the way to the NXT show that night just to run to the ring after his embarrassing loss and kick him in the man parts to add insult to injury. Really, really a shame. He hasn't had a great month at all. And now he's booked in a match that he has a very good chance of losing here. Big time aerial DDT from Drew McIntyre. Great reversal there. All three men are now outside of the ring. Drew McIntyre's attention on the Great Khali. Jinder Mahal just kind of hanging back. We don't know who's going to win this match, but McIntyre has been on an absolute tear lately. Jinder kind of non-existent so far in NXT this year, and the Khali has one loss to his name this month of April, and it was a pretty bad loss, considering what we just said about Natalya. Now McIntyre throwing Jinder's head to the ring, and he goes under. Wait, McIntyre comes up with a steel chair, and he slams it across the back of Jinder Mahal. Jinder, though, delivering a neckbreaker to the Great Khali, and he gets hit again with the chair, and he's down on his feet now. He's down to the floor of the arena, and McIntyre is just raining steel chair shots down on him. The chair is broken, and there's Drew from behind, a headlock takedown onto the steel chair. Unbelievable from Drew McIntyre. Khali sends him down with a clothesline, though, as if to say, hey, leave your friend alone. And now Jinder Mahal whips McIntyre into the steel ring post, and his head bounces off in a sickening way. Mahal doesn't care. He throws him up against it anyway. McIntyre gets rolled into the ring now, and we have Khali and Jinder outside of the ring. There's a bear hug, and there's Drew coming in to break it up. He gets there just in time before Jinder taps out to it. Blocking the chops of the Great Khali is Drew McIntyre. And now we had a collar and elbow, but Drew breaks it up. And wait, he's got a double underhook on Jinder Mahal. And there's a future shock DDT on the floor of the arena from Drew McIntyre to his 3MB partner, Jinder Mahal. All love is lost in this match, ladies and gentlemen. These former tag team brethren have nothing good to say to each other at all. Drew McIntyre has taken complete control, blocking the chops again of Khali on the outside of the arena here. Outside of the ring, I should say, on the floor of the arena, right up against the crowd barricade. We've already seen Brodus Clay and Zack Ryder go through one of these barricades tonight. It has been reinforced. That was our last match where Brodus Clay did indeed win the NXT Internet Championship. Unbelievably dramatic, huge body drop from Khali to Jinder Mahal there. McIntyre just getting up to his feet now. And there's Khali throwing Jinder into the ring, and McIntyre is going to block the chops of the Great Khali one more time. And now McIntyre, working from behind on Jinder, also goes after his legs. And wait, he's going under the ring. He comes up with a sledgehammer, and he's driving it right into the chest of Jinder Mahal. He is going to hurt his tag team partner. These are the same kind of tactics we saw him deploy against his partner Heath Slater in their one-on-one match a few weeks ago. Now running at Jinder, there's a sledgehammer shot right to the gut. Unbelievable from Drew McIntyre. Pure aggression. Huge power slam on the floor of the arena now from Drew McIntyre to Jinder Mahal. Jinder punching up with a reversal. Drew now working from behind. Reverse Russian leg sweep to the Great Khali onto the sledgehammer. And now he throws Jinder Mahal up into the ring. And he's going to go, he picks his legs up and stomping right on the crotch and abdomen of Jinder. McIntyre drags him away from the ropes now. And he turns his attention to the Great Khali, and now he's got Khali in a double underhook. and he swings the leg, and another Future Shock DDT. And he rolls the Great Khali over. And he goes to pick him up, but Khali punches out of that. And now a punch from McIntyre. He's working from behind on the Great Khali. Khali twists the arm around into a belly-to-belly side slam. Drew McIntyre thrown down with authority. McIntyre again escaping from the ring. Both Jinder and Khali in pursuit now. Russian leg sweep from Drew McIntyre to Jinder Mahal on the outside, on the floor of the arena. And Khali throwing Jinder back in. Now Drew working from behind. Takes Khali down by the leg. And Drew now up after Jinder Mahal, working from behind, but Jinder into a snapmare. He's regained his senses here. But now Drew again working from behind. Jinder twists the arm into a belly-to-belly side slam of his own, emulating the much larger Great Khali there. He's going to drag Drew away from the ropes, but Khali's right behind him. Drew reverses with a punch to the chest. Side headlock from Drew McIntyre. Jinder breaks up the hold. Now Drew working from behind. Khali breaks up the hold, not letting any offense happen. Drew is just going to back off here. And there's a chop block from Jinder. And he gets his own leg taken out immediately afterward with a tackle from Drew McIntyre, who continues the work on the leg of his partner here. He's going to immobilize both the Great Khali and Jinder Mahal. Khali, though, side headlock. Drew gets out of it. Elbow drop to the back of the Great Khali. He goes for a pin on the big man. Just a one count, though, and Khali kicks out. Jinder is now up. There's Drew now working from behind. Spins Khali around, but Khali out with a reverse and a clothesline to the back. Working from behind now is Khali. Jinder now punches to the gut. And Drew McIntyre is released. We've got a collar and elbow. Drew and the Great Khali. Khali working from behind. And now a double team. Khali and Jinder. They lift up Drew McIntyre. Double gutbuster to Drew McIntyre. His abs are going to be hurting for a little while after that one. And now Khali's signaling for it. He's got his hand out. Big time chop across the face. And Drew is down. Jinder is dragging him. Khali steals the pinfall. Jinder breaks it up. All three men fired up. This match is reaching a fever pitch. Khali now throws Drew up against the ropes. And he throws him out of the ring, but Drew holds on and he's on the apron. And he punches back. And now Jinder throws Drew back into the ring. And Great Khali is staggered. Jinder, full Nelson slam. Drew McIntyre is down. That's Jinder's finishing maneuver. They go tit for tat on that one. That's in response to the Future Shock, but the Great Khali with a big-time leg drop gets Jinder off of the pinfall there. And now Drew spins Jinder around. He's got the double underhook. We've got the leg kick and another Future Shock DDT, and he throws Jinder Mahal over. And he runs across at the Great Khali, and Khali twists the arm around. And a big chop across the chest of Drew McIntyre. He missed his chance to pin Jinder there. And Drew is down 2. Just a 2 count, though. Jinder does kick out of the Great Khali's pinfall. This match is getting crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And now Jinder thrown into the corner by the Great Khali. And Khali now has the clutch locked in, but there is a rope break called on that one. And Jinder staggering. Khali has him set up for a suplex. Lifts his opponent high, very high into the air, and drops him right on his back. But now Drew McIntyre, double underhook on the Great Khali, leg kick, Future Shock DDT. Throws the Great Khali over, and he drops for a pin. Ref slides in too late. Jinder Mahal, elbow drop, breaks it up. Reaching a definite fever pitch here. And a chop block from Drew McIntyre to the Great Khali in what is turning into an epic match here. 3MB now, both taking out the Great Khali while he's down on the ground. And we've got a double team maneuver. They have him in for a double DDT. No, Jinder with the arms behind. Now they're working over the midsection of the Great Khali. It's a pretty big midsection. You got to punch him a few more times than that to really make it hurt. And Drew McIntyre up now. From behind, German suplex the Great Khali. Sends him into the corner. And now working on Jinder Mahal. Suplex clutch has him up. Big time vertical suplex. And Drew McIntyre is all kinds of fired up. His fans are screaming for him. But he's fired up for too long, and the Great Khali is working from behind. We've got a full Nelson. He's pushing in on his head now. But Jinder Mahal is up just in enough time to stop Khali from winning the match on a submission hold. And now Khali working from a side headlock. Drew McIntyre, huge back suplex. All strength. Picks Khali up out of nowhere. And now he's slamming Khali's head into the mat. And Drew stomping on the chest of the Great Khali here. But now Jinder is going to whip Drew back into an elbow. Nice reversal there. Nice pullback. And he's slamming his arm around. Going to stop him from holding any kind of submissions. We've got a pin 1. Just barely a 2 count, though, before the Great Khali breaks it up. And a double team, double vertical suplex. No, Jinder into a double DDT, hitting both Drew McIntyre and the Great Khali. Nice reversal from Jinder Mahal. And Jinder now has Khali up on his shoulders, spinning him around. And gets him off to the side. Big elevated fireman's carry there. Khali is down. And wait, Drew from behind now. And he's got the double underhook on Jinder Mahal. And one more future shock DDT. Jinder is thrown to the side. Khali is staggered. But he's got a Russian leg sweep to Drew McIntyre. Jinder Mahal is dead. Khali is dragging Drew McIntyre toward the center of the ring. We've got a pin from the Great Khali. Just a 1 count, though. And Jinder elbows it up now. So many opportunities for this match to end, and it just will not. Nobody wants to give it up here. There's so much on the line, despite the fact that this is non-title. Another big gutbuster. Everybody just wants the ego trip of winning. Khali wants redemption. 3MB needs a leader. Pin from Jinder to Drew. Khali breaks it up. And now Drew working on the Great Khali. Big time toss suplex. I don't know how he got the leverage to lift him like that. And he gets an arm drag to Jinder Mahal. And he goes for a pin on Jinder. 1, 2. Oh, 2 count. Jinder Mahal kicks out. That was close there, ladies and gentlemen. Drew now working from behind, but Jinder into a snapmare. And now Jinder has Khali in a double underhook. Unbelievable tiger suplex there from Jinder Mahal to the Great Khali. Drew McIntyre looks to be out. Khali's pinned. Wait, Drew is up. 1. Oh, not even a 2 count before Drew can break up the pin there. And there's a drop kick from Drew McIntyre, saving Jinder Mahal. Maybe not what he intended to do there, but who knows. They are a tag team still. And Drew now just not letting anything happen. And we're going to have another double team set up here. And they're working over the midsection of the Great Khali again. You know, despite her poor intentions in setting this match up, her horrible thought process, you got to think Stephanie McMahon's pretty happy with the way that this turned out. And there's Drew McIntyre with a huge suplex of Khali back into the ring. And now Jinder with a Russian leg sweep to Drew McIntyre. Jinder Mahal taking control, both men down. Khali is in the center of the ring. He's dragging Drew to the center. Khali's up on his feet. Jinder for the pin. 1. Just a 1 count, though, and the Great Khali does break it up. And now Jinder working from behind. Full Nelson locked into a big-time slam, throwing down Drew McIntyre. One more finisher for the road, but the Great Khali is watching everything. I have the feeling he's going to have the last laugh here. We've got a pin. 1. Not even. Khali breaks it up. And now we're going to have one more double team. Elbow to the back from McIntyre. Double kick to the gut. And a double DDT from 3MB to the Great Khali. And now Drew McIntyre twisting Khali around. Neck and back breaker combination. And now he's got the double underhook on Jinder Mahal. Leg swing. That's your future shock. He throws Jinder over. The replays have to hurry up. We may have a pinfall here. Jinder Mahal looks like he's dead. Drew McIntyre going for the pin. They're both down. 1, 2, 3. Oh, just barely gets the win. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre with the win. He gets the win with the future shock DDT over Jinder Mahal. Barely gets the pinfall. Great Khali tries to get the leg drop and does not break up the pin in enough time. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have just seen the definition of the leader of the three-man band come out tonight. Heath Slater removed from the card entirely. Jinder Mahal, the crap kicked out of him by his own partner. I think any power struggle within that group has been settled in the ring tonight. And the Great Khali's embarrassing April just keeps rolling on. Unbelievable match from these three. Did not see it going as long as it did. I gotta hand it to Stephanie McMahon with that booking. That was fantastic. The Giant that should have won the match had no chance. Drew McIntyre takes it home. They fought on the outside. Steel chairs brought into it. Brotherhood holds no bounds inside this ring when you're not tagging on the same side, and Drew McIntyre is the winner. We're coming right back. 2 more matches, guys. We have Tensai versus Fandango, and then we have Big John Studd versus The Miz for the NXT Championship. Go nowhere. And here we are, our 6th match of the evening from the Tampa Bay Times Forum in Florida, home of the Tampa Bay Lightning, home tonight to the NXT Extreme Rules pay-per-view 2K14. We have one half of the tag team champions, Tons of Funk. We've got Tensai taking on Fandango in a regular rules one-fall match. It was initially supposed to be Justin Gabriel, but for family and personal reasons, Mr. Gabriel could not make it to the event tonight. Stephanie McMahon had to change the card at the last minute, and I think Fandango is not happy about that last-minute change. Tensai has been on a pretty good roll so far in this universe mode. Fandango just making his debut last week. And reversing a punch is Tensai. The arena here, the crowd in the arena still can't get over what we just saw. That triple threat match between the great Khali and Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal, where 3MB imploded. Drew McIntyre won. He hit countless future shock DDTs on Jinder Mahal, chair shots everywhere. Unbelievable match, and we think that we have finally seen the infighting of the three-man band come down. It's a shame, too, because if the three-man band had more of a solidified power structure, you would think that we would have had a tag team title match tonight instead of Tensai taking on Fandango here in a meaningless match as he throws him to the outside. Great there. And Brodus Clay winning the Internet Championship from Zack Ryder in a scramble of a last-minute match there. But either way, three-man band had to settle their own differences, and we were left with two singles matches for Tons of Funk, and Tensai looking to make short work of Fandango here. Fandango, a little bit of offense low. There is Tensai with a suplex clutch, and a suplex indeed. Now stomping on Fandango while he's down. We also, during the entrance that we can't show you for content ID purposes, we did see Summer Rae accompanying Fandango to the ring. She is still a bit tired after her match earlier, though. She did beat Layla in our second match tonight in a very impressive one-fall match. It's a shame that she was not booked for the NXT Women's Championship because Aksana beat the tar out of Adeceve, and perhaps Summer Rae could have had a bit of a better showing there. Either way, though, we are here. This is our penultimate match. We just have this followed by our main event, and then we're off the air for the night. And the big choke out spine buster from Tensai to Fandango. And Tensai spitting the green mist on his hands. It's no longer the strange green Asian-inspired mist. It's now Funkasaurus blood. That's what we're telling you. And he's got more of it, and he's going to go in for that modified STO. There you go. He's going to rub the mist into the eyes and the face of Fandango, and he's going to trip him out by the leg. There it is. That's the finisher from Tensai. We've got a pin here. 1, 2, 3. Ring that bell. Tensai, easy fashion, beating Fandango. Not the best match to put as your 6th one on the card, but Stephanie McMahon is apparently still learning. Don't worry, I'm keeping a running list of all your bad booking, and I'm going to make sure that when the time comes to review the performance of Miss McMahon, I will anonymously drop those in her father's mailbox. But for the meantime, we get a pretty meaningless throwaway match here. Tag team champion Tensai easily defeats Fandango in a one-on-one match. If anything, it just gets us to the main event quicker, guys. We're going to watch Tensai celebrate for a few seconds, and we will be right back for NXT champion Big John Studd versus The Miz. Lots to talk about there. Be right back. And here is the NXT Championship being presented. The challenger, The Miz. The champion, Big John Studd. The only Extreme Rules match on the Extreme Rules card. Here we go, guys. And here we are. They're staring each other down, and Miz gets the first headlock in the center of the ring, but Studd immediately into a back suplex. What an interesting road we've taken to get to this title match here in NXT this month. Over the past 3 weeks, Big John Studd has lost 2 matches. He lost to The Miz on our opening NXT show by leaving the ring, deciding to leave the arena, and then coming back and trying to win a match. Miz won non-title. Everybody thought that Miz was the number 1 contender, and then in Stephanie McMahon's power rankings, Mark Henry was named the number 1 contender. Henry remained atop the rankings until earlier this week. Studd lost a ladder match to Sin Cara. All of a sudden, Sin Cara's name was thrown up with The Miz and Mark Henry for who would get a title match at the NXT Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and people had their doubts. There were polls put up on WWE.com, and McMahon got it together and gave it to the first person that beat Big John Studd, The Miz. So The Miz has a chance to win the championship here, and we know what's important about this title. We know what the NXT Championship is down here. Every year after WrestleMania weekend, the NXT champion is guaranteed a roster spot on the main WWE roster. Big time headlock takedown there, stopping the momentum of Big John Studd. And everybody wants it. Now, we are far away from WrestleMania at this point. We are in our first month after this year's WrestleMania. So it's going to be a while before the NXT champion actually gets that guaranteed ticket up to the big time roster. But everybody wants the belt regardless. It shows that you're a warrior. It shows that you have done everything possible to get to the top of NXT. It shows that you are ready to get to that next level. And you have to think of all the people down here in NXT that The Miz is the most ready to get back to WWE. He's been trapped down here for so long, but he's a former WWE champion. He does not need to be down here. So this match right here could be the turning point in his career. This match could get him back on the right track. He could very well hold the title for the next year if he just wins it tonight in this Extreme Rules match against Big John Studd. But now Studd, who has not looked good at all this year, has taken it to The Miz, who now kicks him away from grabbing a weapon. They are outside of the ring. There will be no countouts. Weapons are allowed. Pinfalls and submissions must happen in the ring, but there are no disqualifications otherwise. And now Studd with a big kick to the gut of The Miz. Miz, though, throwing Studd back into the ring, slides up and stomps on him. And now Studd back outside. The Miz follows and swings around behind. Big time swinging neck breaker from The Miz to Big John Studd. And now he's just stomping on him. And he spins him around. He's got him up. There's that skull-crushing finale from The Miz out of nowhere to Big John Studd very early in this match. And now The Miz just happy to celebrate for the fans. And he misses a flying clothesline there, but Miz now in a side headlock with Studd up. Studd stepping on the back of his leg. We've been waiting to see Big John Studd in an actual title match all month long because he has not fared well in non-title matches. And there's The Miz rolling Big John Studd back into the ring. And he grabs him in a side headlock, works around behind into a neck breaker. Nice way to get there. And now Miz looks like he's going to head back outside of the ring here. Yep, heads back, reaching under the apron. And he pulls out a trash can, but Studd kicks him away from it. And now Miz working from behind on Big John Studd, but Studd with a reversing snapmare. And there's a kick to the head and another kick to the head. Classic heel move there, just toying with his opponent. And now Studd backing away from The Miz, but The Miz gets him and is working from behind. Studd reverse, twist the arm around, belly-to-belly side slam. Looks like he was going to put him through the table there. Good thing it didn't happen. And now The Miz is staggered, but he throws Studd back up into the ring. And now he picks up a trash can, and he rolls it into the ring, and he's going to go up after Studd. Picks up that trash can again, and he hits Studd right across the top of the head with it, and he's just wailing on him with the trash can off to the side of the ring. Oh, but he misses that last one. There we go. He hits him on the run, and the trash can is dented. The Miz now going to pick Studd up, but Studd pokes him in the eye. The Miz has to back off. Big John Studd gets a chance to get up to his feet. And a big-time single-handed bulldog sending Miz down, and Miz wisely rolls out of the ring, and he's trying to get Big John Studd to come after him. He's taunting. He's ready. And he's going to rip the top of the table off. We've seen that table destroyed twice already tonight. Our duct tape budget is going to be through the roof this month of April. And now Miz just toying with Big John Studd. Walking away, grabs him from behind on the outside, but now Studd with a reversal into a snapmare. Miz gets up, there's a punch to the gut of Big John Studd, and he whips him into the crowd barricade, and a big punch. And he's following with more and more punches to the head right up against the screaming fans. They want to see Big John Studd lose. They don't care who it's to. And now there's Miz. Oh, big time reverse Russian leg sweep. That's his signature maneuver. We know that one. And now Studd is going to head back up. No, he's going under the ring. And Miz is celebrating. Miz is just all kinds of fired up here. Big John Studd still searching under the ring. He comes up with a steel chair. He's walking over toward The Miz. The Miz is going to meet him. And he steals the chair away from Big John Studd. Runs at him. Hits him right across the top of the head with that chair. And he's just slamming it down on the knees of Big John Studd now. Trying to work over the old man. One more face shot there. Throws the broken chair aside. And now he picks Big John Studd up. Grabs him in a side headlock, and he's walking the limp man over. And he's bringing him over to the table. Oh, but Big John Studd reverses and Irish whips Miz into the corner of the crowd barricade. And a big headlock to The Miz in the corner there, sending The Miz down to the floor of the arena. They are decidedly on the outside here. There's a punch, all kinds of combo from John Studd there, knocking Miz down again. Miz completely at the whim of the NXT champion here. And he reverses out into a Russian leg sweep. Nice wherewithal there from Mike the Miz Mizanin. And he goes for a grapple here. And again, he's going to walk Big John Studd over. And he's bringing him toward our announcer's table. And he lets him go. But Big John Studd whipping Mike back into the ring there. And now Studd reaching under the ring. Doesn't quite know what he's looking for. Miz picks up his trash can. And Big John Studd comes up with a table, but the Miz does not let him go for it. And now Big John Studd, big time running elbow into the Miz. These two are already both hurting. Their stamina is drained. And wait, Miz whips him into the table here. And he rolls him up on top. And now Miz is going to follow him up after. And there's Big John Studd being lifted by the Miz. Miz kicked him to the gut. And a big time swinging DDT through the announcer's table. Big John Studd is down face first through the announcer's table. All the wood, all the plastic, all the electronics right in the eyes and the nose of Big John Studd. And now the Miz is setting up the table that Big John Studd had initially brought out here for the Miz. Goes over and he picks Big John Studd up. And Studd now whips Miz toward the table, has him leaned over on it, and Miz falls over. Knocked the wind right out of him, hit him right in the abdomen. All lungs there and the contact on the edge of the table. Big John Studd trying to sidestep around the table, but he can't quite get there. Now Miz, side headlock on Studd, working from behind. Russian leg sweep. And now the Miz working over Big John Studd on the ground here. And he's got him for another skull-crushing finale. And I think we see blood there, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Big John Studd is indeed busted open. And now the Miz going to follow after him on the apron. He's got him choked out. And the ref powerless to do anything here. There are no disqualifications in this Extreme Rules match. And now the Miz has Studd whipping him over the ropes and sends him through the table to the outside. The legs just collapse. Now Miz from up top, huge elbow drop, and he hits it cleanly. But there's a low blow from John Studd as Miz tries to pick him up afterward. The Miz is in control here aside from that low blow. There's another big-time run-over swinging neckbreaker from The Miz. He's got to get this back inside if he wants to win, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's throwing Big John Studd back in. He's still got that trash can there. There are still weapons. There are still ways to make John hurt for walking out on that match earlier this month. And there's a big throw from Big John Studd to The Miz. And now he's got a knee to the back of the head with Miz down on the mat. Big John Studd, though, his head is a-hurtin'. He is all full of blood. And he's got Miz up. Big time rib breaker over that huge Big John Studd knee. And now Miz is pinned here. 1, 2. Oh, 2 count. And Miz kicks out. And now he goes for Studd. He's got him from behind. And he's got a Russian leg sweep. And Big John Studd is down. Now Miz going for a pin. 1, 2. Oh, just barely a 2 count. And Big John Studd gets out. Miz, though, still on the attack. Working the arm around. And he drops him by the leg. And twists the leg over. Big time stretch there. All hamstring. And now Miz from behind. One more float over neck breaker. And now Miz telling the crowd it's all over. He's got his arms crossed up top. Studd is up. Miz has him from behind. Skull crushing finale in the ring right next to the trash can. Blood everywhere. 1, 2, 3. We have a new NXT champion. The Miz is it. The Miz wins. The Miz does it. Big John Studd finally drops the belt after a terrible month for your marquee champion. And The Miz in an Extreme Rules match here in Tampa Bay, Florida, does it, puts him down, and becomes your NXT champion. Skull-crushing finales, table shots, that trash can staying in the ring the entire time, dented from Big John Studd's massive body. Studd never stood a chance, just like he never stood a chance against Miz earlier this month, and he never stood a chance against Sin Cara in a ladder match earlier this week. Big John Studd was not the right champion for this brand, and The Miz just proved it. And just like that, The Miz is one step closer to finding himself back on a main WWE roster. Unbelievable match here. Unbelievable night. 2 new champions crowned. Brodus Clay and The Miz. NXT changes tonight. 3MB looks like it has a defined new leader. And Aksana, the diva, the women's champion down here, looks like she really knows what she's doing. Guys, it has been a great night here from Tampa Bay, Florida. 19,000 fans screaming to send us off the air. A new NXT champion crown. The Miz is your guy. We're going to come back for Raw next week. We have the real Extreme Rules pay-per-view 1 week from today. Don't you dare miss it. Catch up on Universe if you haven't seen it yet, and let me know in the comments what you think about this pay-per-view. We will see you next time.